What is up, you guys? Welcome back to the channel. Hopefully each and every one of you guys is having a great and amazing day. If it's your first time stopping by, go ahead and smash that subscribe button. While you're at it, go ahead and smash that thumbs up button. If you watched the last video, you know that the car didn't start, and we determined that there was no fuel, there was no spark, and that's the reasoning why the car wasn't starting. Now, I had a theory that the rear main seal was causing the crank position sensor not to make contact, and we were getting a crank position sensor code, so it kind of makes sense. So we went ahead, dropped the trans, replaced the rear main seal, and put a new crank position sensor in there. While we're at it, double checked all the harnesses, and then we got everything put back together already. I did this all off camera, of course, but in the process of doing so, we removed the drain plug, we drained the oil to remove the rear main seal, of course. And when we did so, we found something on the magnet. So here's a picture of what was on the magnet. I have no idea what it is. So we're actually in the process of removing the valve covers to inspect the heads, make sure that there's no damage. Personally, it looks like a valve keeper. I just don't know what it is at this point. All right, so we just actually finished putting the driver's side valve cover back on. We didn't find anything that worried us.
He was just standing there.
He said, "We." Okay, Mr. Dancer.
Best friend, yeah. Best friend, yeah. Best friend.
Do that again.
What's up, dude? It's child pornography, bro. You can't be doing that.
You're not a child.
He is. You can't be having him dance like that in front of you.
Do what you did earlier.
You're bugging my ass. You're bugging my ass.
All right, so we pulled both valve covers off. We didn't seem to find any issues, so hopefully it was just something that was left over from previously blowing everything up. No, we did replace the oil pan, so I know it wasn't just sitting in there. It might have just been left in the head and not found. So I guess we're gonna try to start it up right now. Let's see if it starts. Go again. Again. It's like right there. Let's check the fuel pressure. Try.
Alright, we're chilling. We're looking about 80. It's not staying on for a reason. No fuel, buddy. Good. Fuck. Fucking crazy.
All right, guys, so we got the car started. You have no idea. It's not quite running on its own. I was having to give it a little bit of throttle to keep it running. We have a couple of codes for camshaft position sensors, etc. It seems to be a circuit code, so we may have something going on with the harness that we do have to diagnose. But other than that, you guys have no idea how excited I am. I don't know if I want to cry. It's been 7 months, and to hear it start and stay running. At one point, I was able to let go of the throttle, and it actually stayed running. So I'm beyond excited to just hear it run. It sounds nasty. It sounds mean. Those cams, they're aggressive, and oh boy, does it chop. All right, so obviously yesterday we finally got the car started, and I was so excited. But obviously it's not running correctly. We're getting a cam shaft position sensor current code, so I got one of those sensors on order. Hopefully that fixes the issue. Another issue that we're having is the battery keeps dying, so there might be a short somewhere in the harness, so we're gonna have to look into that. We might have to replace the whole engine and trans harness. Hopefully not, but I'm leaning towards that right now because I really don't feel like going through every single wire on the whole harness just to figure out that it's going to have to be replaced regardless. With that being said, right now I'm going to get the car started, double check all of the codes, then get the car up on the lift, get the drive shaft in, get the exhaust on, start it up again, get the car up to temp, get the trans up to temp, and get the trans filled up how it should be, and also get the rear diff fluid changed out. That all has to be done still. Other than that, the car's pretty much put together, ready to go. I'm so excited to finally drive this car. It's literally right there, and well, we'll be starting it here in a few minutes. Here we go.
No?
Oh, I'm throttling it a little, yeah. Alright guys, so obviously it's not staying running on its own, but we're making progress. Let me go ahead and check the codes right now, see what we have. I believe it's an electrical short somewhere that we're having. So, let's see, read codes. Getting P0340, which is a camshaft position sensor A circuit, P0344 camshaft position sensor A circuit intermittent, camshaft P0345 another camshaft, P0349 another camshaft, P061B internal control module torque calculation performance, P0752, which is a shift solenoid A stuck on, P0A5B generator current sensor, which I always have, P2700 transmission friction element A applied time range performance, and that's about it. A long list of codes, but I promise you guys we'll get it all sorted out, and we'll get this car up and running here real soon. I believe we're probably gonna have to just go ahead and order that whole harness and replace it, so we stop second guessing ourselves and driving ourselves crazy trying to find out this whatever this issue may be. We need to just replace the harness and be done with it, because everything that's popping up is literally related to a circuit code. Therefore, something's not grounded correctly, something's not making contact correctly, maybe something got messed up when the engine blew. Keep in mind there was a lot of moving parts. Pulleys were flying, pulleys broke. They could have broke one of the wires that we're not seeing. I know it's going to be something so stupid, but either way, we're going to get this car up on the lift like I promised. We're going to get the transmission up to temp. We're going to get all of the transmission fluid in because we are low on transmission fluid. I know that. Alright guys, so we got the QA1 carbon fiber drive shaft going in right now. The diff fluid just got done draining. I'm going to put the plug back in and start filling it up. We're about to put the exhaust on in a few minutes, and then we're going to drop the car. From there, once we drop it, we're going to swap around the cam sensors. We don't know if it's the cam sensor that's bad or if it's the harness that's bad right now. Both of the intake cam sensors are throwing codes. So we're going to swap them around. If the code switches over to the exhaust side, then we know that it's the cam sensor. If not, then we know it's something electrical going on within the harness. If that's the case, we're going to have to just replace the whole harness. I don't want to fight it anymore. It's just been a pain in the ass trying to figure out what's going on with this car. Other than that, we're pretty much done with everything on this car. Either way, we'll get a start on it with the exhaust. And then from there, we should be able to warm up the trans and fill up the transmission fluid. I'd be lying if I were to say I wasn't impressed on how it sounds. I figured it was going to chop. I just didn't think it was going to be that much. So right now what I did on one bank is we swapped the intake cam sensor to the exhaust cam sensor and the exhaust cam sensor to the intake side, of course. And the code reversed itself. So that means that the harness is good. So we don't have to replace the harness. Now we just need to get two sensors, and we're going to swap the sensors out, and hopefully everything's going to be okay. Other than those codes, I don't have anything. From here on out, it's just going to be tuning the car, which is going to be problematic because nobody's really tuned this throttle body. The car's not really running on its own to start it up, at least. Once it warms up, I can let go of the throttle and it will stay running. So there's going to be a lot of adjustments and a lot of fine tuning to get the car where it needs to be. So that's going to take some time alone. And we still got to get the AC recharged. We still got to get an alignment. There's a lot that we still have to do. With that being said, guys, I will see you guys tomorrow. We're gonna get some cam sensors and button up a few things on the car, and from there, I guess it'll be time to drive it. All right, so a little bit of an update. We got the camshaft sensors in. I got with Wengard on the tune, and it looks like we're gonna have to switch back to the stock throttle body for now, at least until the car is broken in and we get some base numbers with the stock throttle body. And then once it's fully dialed in with the stock throttle body, we will switch back to the Edelbrock one and completely dial it in. I'm waiting for an RTD Plus to come in. With the RTD Plus, he can get much more data. I currently have an N gauge. So once that comes in, we'll be getting a lot more data, like mentioned, and then we can switch back to the Edelbrock and fully tune it. Other than that, we're gonna swap these cam sensors out, get some fluid in the trans, and we should be good to go from there. All right, guys, all the sensors are replaced. We're literally putting the battery back in right now. And once that's done, we're gonna get the new tune loaded for the stock throttle body. From there, we're gonna get the car up on the lift, keep it running, and get some trans fluid in it. The reason why you wanna keep it running is to allow the trans to warm up, because you're supposed to check the level of fluid while it's at operating temperature. So we're gonna do that, then we're gonna be driving it home tonight. At least that's the goal. With that being said, let me get to work. All right, guys, the cam sensor seems to work. Just listen to it. Stock throttle body is idling by itself, no gas needed. I didn't even have to gas it upon startup. I'm gonna start a little idle log right now, send it over to Wengard Performance. And like I said, we have to wait for the RTD in order to get that Edelbrock 103 millimeter throttle body on there. This sounds fucking amazing. Oh my God. I'm so happy right now. We'll be riding in this in just a little bit. All right, guys, so we have a minor oil leak, so we're not taking the car home tonight. We believe it's a valve gasket or valve cover gasket, so pretty minor. We'll get it replaced on Monday, and from there we should be good to go. Car's pretty much staying running on its own, but when we give it a little bit of gas, it seems to die out. So I'm gonna send the idle log over. Hopefully he can get it corrected. Of course, we have these big cams in there. It's gonna be a little difficult to tune. With that being said, guys, have a great night. I'm out of here until Monday.